Hi, welcome to MMA UK with me, Danny Brough. I'm joined here with Tom Clarke. How's it going, Tom? Nice to meet you, mate.
Hi, Danny. You right, yeah?
Yeah, not bad. Now, you're fighting at FCC 25, Bolton Arena, 29th of February. You were supposed to be having a title fight, mate, but I've seen that that's not happening now. Have you got any more news on that?
Yeah, that's right. Well, first I was matched up with Lucas Pilch from Stapes' gym in Rochdale, and he pulled out of an injury quite far out, actually. It was about 9 weeks out he pulled out. So then they got someone else in, Tony Morgan from Predators, and just last week he injured his knee, so he pulled out as well. So it's looking like now, because it's so close to the fight, they're going to have to get me a fight with someone, and it's not going to be for the title. But
Yeah.
I'm happy with the fight. I've done a lot of good work in this camp, so I'm happy just to get the fight at the end of the camp, get the win, and then move on. And I spoke to Adam, the promoter, and he said that he'll try and rearrange a fight between me and Tony for the title in May on the next FCC show.
Right, that'll be good. I mean, having two fighters pull out on you, maybe they're training super hard for you, mate. See you coming.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
So, have you got any? Obviously, it must be a bit of a downer knowing that you've not got that fight coming up, but I'm guessing you're just training the same, carrying on as usual.
Yeah, training the same kind of as usual. Yeah. I've recently just moved gym, to be honest. Well, about 6 months ago now. I used to train at Hammer in St Helens.
Yeah.
One of my main training partners there was Mick Stanton. He decided to move on from there, and because he was sort of my main training partner, I went with him to ASW. Right. So now I'm at ASW. I train at HQ. I call it HQ, which is in Tilsley, with Darren Morris, who's like one of the UK MMA's OGs as a coach.
Yeah.
I also train at ASW Manchester with Cam as well. So I'm quite lucky to have those coaches around me, to be honest.
Yeah, must like say, help you have a good team around you. You're looking quite smart, mate. Where are you?
I'm just in work at the minute. I'm on a break. I've got a 5-hour break tonight.
5-hour break?
Yeah, I drive trains for a living, so I'm just in Chester on a break at the minute.
Nice, bit of downtime.
Yeah, a bit of downtime. Have a little chat with you.
Yeah, managed to get any training, excuse the pun, managed to get any training in between your train breaks?
No, I haven't trained today. Well, I've done a bit of cardio this morning, but I didn't go up today. Like, the gym's an hour and 20 minutes away from my house, so I have to travel up there, train, travel back. I get about an hour and a half to have some food, and then I come to work. So
yeah,
it's quite a hectic week when I'm in camp.
What's your type of schedule then? Obviously, having your gym so far away, do you try and focus on your MMA whilst you're there, and do cardio and other stuff whilst you're at home?
Yeah, that's what I try to do, because I get up there with obviously Darren, and he sort of he handles all the MMA stuff, and then usually if I've got time in the evenings, I'll go up to see Cam, and then in the mornings I'll train with the pros at HQ with Darren.
And who you heading up to Bolton with? Got a good team here coming up, someone coming for your corner?
Yeah, Darren and Cam will be there, I think, and the lads will be there. Mick Stanton's because he's got his own gym as well, he's got a few fighters on, so he'll be there. He's always in my corner. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Do you know, obviously you're saying fighting goes well in this fight, you might be fighting in May. That's going to be FCC 26 then, won't it?
26 it'll be,
match, eh? Well, that's not too bad then. Obviously, I've seen you've served for the country, mate. Would you mind just expanding on how your time was there, how it might have helped you get into MMA or develop on your career?
Yeah, so I first had my first pro MMA fight was in 2009, and I just sort of got offered the fight, and I thought, how hard can they be? Grossly misunderestimated how hard someone could be with a bit of training and a camp behind them. Yeah. So and that sort of got me into training then, because I realised how useful it can be. But then I joined the Marines. I did 5 years in the Marines. I did do quite a bit of amateur boxing. I was on a boxing team in the Marines, and I did 2 tours of Afghan. So apart from the boxing, the training was sporadic at best. I left the Corps. I went and did anti-piracy in the Indian Ocean.
Right.
So I was on and off planes and boats and all over the Middle East for 4 years. So I didn't really get much training in there either, little bits here and there. And then when I come home to be a train driver, I had a bit of time to do some training, and I joined Hammer, like I said, in St Helens. Had a few amateur fights there. Got myself a British amateur title on the Cage Warriors promotion, and then I had my second pro debut, so to speak, with Hammer, and then I moved on to ASW.
Nice. Well, obviously, thanks for your service, mate. Massive hats off to anyone who puts a life on the line, so to speak, and puts life on hold to do good for others. I watched last two pro fights, pretty much similar finishes, mate. Get him against the cage, just smash him until the referee pulls you off. Is that something you kind of work on, or is it just the way that it kind of played out?
That's the way that it sort of played out, I think. Both of them camps, injury-wise, I didn't have very good camps. So I wasn't too confident on my conditioning. So it was like the cage floor was lava. I needed to get in there, get it done, and get out.
Yeah, you can tell.
That's the sort of a training with Darren Morris. He has sort of a style. He has like a philosophy, and I'm trying to take as much as I can from him.
Yeah.
The only way really to describe it like is when you roll with him. It's like getting in a car with him and he takes you for a journey. He's driving and he'll take you to a T-junction. He'll let you choose whether you go left or right, but he knows what you're going to do, whether you go each way, and you'll go right, and then all of a sudden you're in a worse position and you're at another T-junction, and he'll let you go left or right again. So you think, I'll go left this time. You're in an even worse position. And all them failures add up, and they weigh on your mind. Even in elite level, that you can see when fighters make mistakes, they weigh on their mind. So when you've made that many failures through fighting, you come to the last T-junction, you either give up or you do something that's out of your remit and you're not skilled and you make a big mistake, and that gives you the finish. And that's the sort of the philosophy I take from the way Darren coaches. It's like step by step until you get the finish.
Like I say, it makes a difference between winning the loss. I like your mythology there on making a lot of loss, making sure your losses are in the gym rather than in the cage.
That's right, yeah.
Like I say, prioritise on your things in the cage. So what do you think is going to be next? Assuming, let's say you get to the title fight, win the title. Got any plans looking forward?
I'll be 4-1 then. I'm ranked. I think I'm ranked middleweight around 46 at the minute, and welterweight around 70. So my rankings should shoot up a little bit. Fighting Tony, and fighting whoever it is at the end of this month. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe get maybe defend the title, and then really that's all I've done regional level, and then have a look at maybe the bigger shows. I don't know, Bellator, Cage Warriors. See what happens.
Yeah, obviously we've got Bellator doing the debut event in Manchester coming up. Will you make an appearance there? Go and watch it, or too focused on your own stuff?
No, I'll probably get there to watch it. I mean, there's a few lads, obviously, Chaddy from the gym, he fights at Bellator. There's a few lads at Cam's gym. On a Saturday at Cam's gym, you can have a UFC fighter there, a Bellator fighter there, a PFL fighter there. So there's good lads all there. So and I know them and train with them. So when any of the lads fight, I'll get down to watch them. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Well, thanks for having you on, mate. Hope everything goes well. Let us know when you get the opponent through, and all the best. Thanks for having us.
Nice one, Danny. It's nice to speak to you, mate. Cheers.
Nice, you too, mate. Cheers, buddy.
All right, cheers. Well.